months ago. So now my boy is running and kicking and
pulling dollars.
so he is now 13 months old.
Wow.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Let's start with prayer. How about that? Let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for a great time again to come together. Well, this is my first time with the Chinese Community United Methodist Church. Lord, I ask that as you are with us today, you will enrich this time, that you will stir our heart, stir our mind, stir our souls, that we will live each day for you, and we will try our best to be a part of your kingdom, to be a part of the mission that you have in store for us, to make the disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Thank you, Lord, and we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes, my wife, Ivana, my boy is Philo, Philo, philosophy, philo, love, yeah. I always, it's always my dream when I was young, first introduced to philosophy class. I think it was in junior high. And then my teacher explained what it means, philosophy. Philo is love, Sophie is wisdom. And I was like, if I have a son, my son will be Philo. If I have a daughter, my daughter will be Sophie. I fought with my wife, not fighting, but we talked about names. She never wanted Philo. And I said, Philo. She always wanted a name that starts with I, because her name starts with I, Ivana. And so, Israel. So we agreed that if it were a boy when she was pregnant, when we didn't know the gender of the boy of the baby yet, she said if it was a boy, it would be Israel. That's a good idea, good name. If it would be a girl, it would be Isadora. On that day, we do the ultrasound. The nurse said, well, it is 99%. It will be a boy. So in my mind, sitting there, thinking, oh, it's going to be Israel. She, after everything done, she's wake up, she's, stood up and she said, well, Philo, huh? Yeah, Philo. So, she never agreed with me until that day. So that's Philo. 1 year old, alive and kicking.
Wow.
Well, then now let us talk about Cambodia a little bit. How many of you have been to Cambodia? 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is Cambodia. It's next to Vietnam, next to Laos, next to Thailand. Right? Cambodia was in the middle. We used to think our country is so big, was so big in the back in the 11th century when Angkor Wat was built, when the king was so very powerful, and the history taught us, Cambodian people, that the country was so big. Now we are very small, very, very small. The population right now in the year 2013 is approximately 15 million people. And that started, you remember in 1979, 1975 to 1979 when they were killing, there was a lot of killing, and after that in 1979, we only had about 5 million people.
Wow.
And within this time, we triple our population. 70% of the total population is under 30 years old. So again, it's because the baby boom period right after Pol Pot, everybody just started making babies. Right? So the area is 181, 35 square kilometer. It's about Kansas City, not Kansas City, Kansas State. Yeah, Kansas State. It's about that big. Religion, the overview is Buddhism, 95%, always. Christianity, 2%. It started with nothing in 1979. Until now, we have 2%. So the growth is okay, it's not that bad. Muslim is 2%. There has always been Muslim in Cambodia. There is always that group of tribe. They all are Muslim and they are certain. And others, Chinese religion or Japanese religion became 1%. So 2% of Christianity is everything. I think Joseph also talked about that through our presentation. In July 2013, 13 of us went to Cambodia. The guy on the far right, he is Cambodian, working in Cambodia, so he was not one of the 13, but he was helping us in Cambodia, so that's why he's in the picture. Out of that 13 people, 4 of us are from California, from Cal, Nevada. It was actually from my previous assignment in Escalon, Riverbank, and Farmington. So 3 churches had 4 people. One is me, another one is Clayton, Gemma, and Connie. We joined team with Louisiana team, 13 people. Louisiana had 9, we had 4, so all 13 people. These 13 people went to Cambodia with one big goal. We raised enough money to support a youth camp in Cambodia. A youth camp in Cambodia, why did we do that? Because in Cambodia there are 152 United Methodist churches, and each church is mainly youth population. Right? Older people, they don't want to really change their mind too much. They're Buddhism, they're Buddhist, they're still Buddhist. Younger generation, now they got exposed to, the outside world. Their heart is more open, so most of them a lot of them became Christian, as we know, 2%. And so each church is youth. The problem is, when they come to church, they're happy. But after that Sunday service, they go home, they got a problem. Because their parents did not like the fact that they changed their faith tradition. Maybe their grandparents will kick them out of the house if they know you are a Christian. I used to have that problem when I told my family that I became a Christian. And so the idea is we want to bring those people to come together so that they know that they are not alone in their only small local church, but there are also other people around the country who are Christians. So we want to sponsor 2 people from each church, 2 youth leaders from each church, from all around the country, 152 churches, meaning we want to sponsor 300 people to come to a youth camp. So what we did is we have to raise enough money to rent a hotel, to pay for their food, to pay for their transportation, to pay for a conference room. 300 people is big. So we did all that. So each of us raised about, we have to raise $3,000 a piece for one person. So that is include our airfare, our food, and also the money to help the Cambodian project.
3,000 times what?
Times 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so times 13 to help all those. And our airfare, like from here to Cambodia in July, the airfare was a lot. It was $1,800 per person. That was a high season, so that was not a good time, but a good time for Cambodian people, especially for the youth who are out of school. If we do it during school time, they cannot come. So there's 13 of us. And so the question is, what did we all do? We will not just only do the youth camp, but we also visited different places. In my presentation, I'm going to tell you some weird stuff, that you see, something strange in Cambodia that you go there and, oh my gosh, how do you do that? Say, for example, the first picture, 15 people in one truck, they sit on the top of the truck, and the truck go on freeway, 60 kilometers an hour, and they sit just like nothing, no handrail or anything, but they do that. There is some mission work, youth doing the school mechanic thing, and also food. You will ask that question. What do you eat when you go to Cambodia? Well, there are a lot of good food out there, and we also will talk about something very strange, and then we go to the prison, that is the museum, and then also when people were packing and stuff like that. So we are foreigners. We were in Cambodia, we went there with big luggage. It was very funny when we saw all those kids coming to youth camp. 20 of them were packed in a 12-seat van, right? 20 of them. Like, it's a 12-seat van, and then people just keep coming out, just in like a circuit box, the people just keep coming out. But us, only 13, we have a big, gigantic bus. 24 seats, we still didn't have enough place to sit down. It's just because they have a lot of luggage, Each of us have 2 suitcases to go everywhere with. So Yeah.
How many days were you there?
We were there for 14 days. The 12 of us were there 14 days. I went there a week early so that I have that 1 week with my family.
Yes.
And then I went there.
Is that Phnom Penh then? What city is that?
Yeah, we was in Phnom Penh and then we went to different provinces too. We went to Siem Reap too. Yeah. So this is in Phnom Penh, the first picture where people start to know that stuff up. When we went there, it happened that we went on the election month. The election was going to happen on July 28th, and we were there on July 9th. And then during those days, they were having a political campaign. And we were stuck in the traffic, and then we took all those pictures. It was awesome. The first day that they the first day that the American team went there, I went there a week early, and then I came to pick them up in the airport. We got stuck in the airport for 2 hours, just because the political party leader, who has been in exile for the last 6 years, and a week before election, he was allowed to go back to Cambodia. And then many people went to welcome him. 50,000 people were on the street. Look at that. It was just, and these people are youth. They want change. And the political campaigns, they were yelling that one word, change, change, change. They just want change. Because the current Prime Minister has been in power for the last 29 years. So they want change. Well, the election came out and they could not change it.
So they're asking for kind of resolution of the present government?
They wanted to, but they cannot. The result came out that they lost by a little bit, by 68 and 55. So, yeah.
Because change, if I chant that, it means like.
Yeah, they want people to vote for the opposition party. You know what I mean?
Like less police violence. We had someone shot. But then it's like get this guy out of government.
Yeah, and they don't want to do power force. They just want to yell change to everybody in the country who had a voice to vote, to not vote for the current government, the current power, the party in control, but to vote for the opposition party who does not have control, right? But they get better results, but they could not win. Yeah. And then we went to the museum. So the first couple of days we went to visit Cambodia to really have some kind of general understanding of what Cambodian people went through so that we can have an effective leadership with youth camp, right? So we went to a school that used to be turned into a prison. You know that place. We went to Cambodia in Tuaslang, and it was crazy. And I was Cambodian. I am Cambodian. I could not stand 10 minutes presentation because it was so hard. It was so disturbing for me. A lot of people cried on the way. Yeah.
On the way out?
On the way of the tour. Like when people tour you, they keep crying. It's because it's unbelievable. The story is too crazy. Yeah. And this is the prison cell inside, like the classroom, they divide those classrooms into different little small cells to put people in there. And it's now a museum cell. How does...
Is it stuff?
Okay. And this is the picture of the people who were captured and killed during those times. And this has this picture. And these are the two missionaries who went from California, Nevada, and they met with the survivor. During that time, more than 25,000 people were killed in that school. Only 7 could escape. Right? So out of those 7, 5 died already because they are old, they're sick. Only 2 who are still survived, and 2 of them wrote books. So he wrote the book. So they had a very special privilege.
That man is one of the 2?
Yeah, that man is still one of the 2, the man in the middle. Yeah.
He looks young.
Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's about 80 years old. Yeah. And then we went to another one. Is the killing field. That's when they they bring all the bodies from that last school to this place to kill. And this is a stupa.
And they play, what do they do when they're groaning and pain as they die? They have loud music playing or something?
Yeah, you heard that story, huh?
What is that?
It's just in this place, when they bring people into the camp, to kind of the concentration camp, they make sure they play music so that it distract. If I take one person and kill that person out there, you who are in the cell out here cannot hear because of the music that you are listening to. But then moan and groan and the pain, people are crying out there and you cannot hear. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how they do. And this is a stupa that they built just to commemorate, as a memorial, for those people who died in that time. And
Stupa, is that what you call it?
yeah, that's a stupa.
Stupa.
C-U-P-O-1.
Yeah.
Stupa.
No,
It's a
it's
PS.
C-U-P-O-1.
Yeah.
No, it's called a stupa.
Yeah, stupa. I think it's S-T-U-P-A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Buddhist shrine.
Yeah, it's like a shrine that usually they put ash in there, and so this is a big one. That's for the collective.
Secret actually over here.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so these are the those sculpts that they put in that stupa, and then you will see the mass grave. You see bone on the floor when you're walking. There's the tree where they kill a little baby, and this baby they just grab by the feet and they smack it against the tree.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. It can be more disturbing if you listen to the real tour guide. They will tell you personal stories of it. It's just unbelievable. I am Cambodian again. I heard that story the rest of my life. I still cannot stand it. Yeah, it's too bad.
That was before you were born.
Yes, it's right before I was born. Yeah, I grew up. I was born during the baby boom period. Yeah. So you will see bones and teeth on that ground. They just ask you not to walk on it. And then we went to a royal palace where the king is staying. And on that day, the king was there. There is a flag that you can tell if the king is there or not. If the flag is up, that means the king is inside the house. If the flag is down, that means the king is not inside the house. Usually the king went to China. King usually go to China for health care checkup and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, this is a royal palace. It's
So
a
he
lot.
has a massage in China?
No, you go to Thailand for massage.
Oh, you go to Thailand.
But he's going to China.
Yeah, and so after the royal palace, this is the 13 of us who were very happy to see, how Cambodia, we understood why Cambodian people are so proud, so loud for their life, although they've gone through a lot. It is because they have a lot of history, rich history in their life, and they still have hope that they can come back to that generation, And so we had a really good time down there. And then after the couple of days of visit, now it's time for the business, for the mission. So we went to an orphanage. This is an orphanage. There's a school and orphanage. And then the kids started to go crazy because they see foreigners. They were in class, and then here you go, a group of foreigners come from somewhere. They used to see that, and when foreigners usually leave VBS, Vacation Bible School. That means fun. Right? That means painting, that means soccer game, that means football game. So they're, foreigners, little high five, stuff like that. Cambodian people don't do high five, but we go there, we teach them high five, right? Oh, high five. And then now they see foreigners, high five. Yeah, and then, we do VBS, we teach them to dance, and they dance with us. We play ball, right? Any ball that is round, that kickable, it turned out to be a soccer ball, right? That ball Carly is holding is actually the four square ball, they used to play dodgeball or four square. But as soon as they see that ball, it ain't no four square, right? Four square, what is that game? No, not a ball. It turned out to be a soccer game. Both boys and girls in their uniform, they start running,
That's a fun ball for soccer though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bouncing around, yeah.
It's not professional play, but it's fun.
That's right, it's a lot of fun. So anything round turned out to be a soccer. They do painting, crafting, and then at the end they give us a picture that they did during VBS, and we took it home. It's so good, It's awesome. That's what we did. At the end, we gave them, some snacks, and they were very happy about it. And then now talking about food, so many days we ate a lot of good food.
Wow. Is that French fries?
Yeah. French fry with spare rib. So we have a chocolate pie there. It's like cheesecake, and then the Cambodian fry. I think Chinese also do this kind of ball too. Like this kind of dough,
Oh, yeah?
Cambodian donut, you know, with the sesame and put it in the oil and then cook up. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, you put it into noodle, into you know, porridge. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, and then you drink coconut. I mean, these things, it's not as exciting for us as Asian, right? But for foreigners, for white people, Anglo who never been to outside the country, when they say coconut, that is coconut, real coconut, you know? These white people, they love it. So I take them out for 50 cents, eat coconut, that big one. They don't care, you know? Here you go.
But that's expensive for Cambodia, right?
Yeah, it's expensive for Cambodia, but 50 cents for us is 50 cents,
And
right?
then like when I had it in India, afterwards they'll scoop it out for you.
Yeah, if you want to, but we don't want to because when we go too deep, when they scoop it out, we don't know if the spoon is clean enough, you know. Although we only eat, we were really careful. This guy got sick after he drank that coconut. He said it's because he got the first coconut. You know, the first coconut, the knife that they cut the coconut, the knife might have some virus that has not been cleaned before. So when he got the first coconut, some virus go in there. I am Cambodian, I'm fine. She got the third coconut, so she might not. She was not infected. So interesting, huh?
Don't try to be first.
Well, now that comes down to the real deal.
So you wash that.
Why we went to Cambodia? Because we wanted a youth camp. So when we went there, before we went there, the leadership in Cambodia, the leadership team in Cambodia, they designed that youth camp, right? So what do they want to do? The theme is on Ephesians 6:11 that say, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the scene of evils, right? And so they did that picture. It's awesome. From cardboard, right? Well, thick cardboard. And it's just amazing. And I was thinking, probably they go to Google and they find a picture and they try to, imitate it, copy it. Go to Google if you can find it. I could not find it. Probably you can, but I could not find it. So they did it by themselves. And why did I see that? This guy looked like Cambodian. That is not a Google picture. This is a Cambodian warrior, you know what I'm saying? So it is really, cultural. So it's a Cambodian warrior, and so it's very interesting.
Why is there an S on the supposed part?
Why there isn't what?
Yes. Is that a snake?
What is there on?
The design.
Yeah, they come with some kind of design. I don't know, Good question, but sorry, I cannot
Is
answer.
that like a diamond ruby on his buckle?
Yeah, maybe, huh? Look like a ruby in the buckle.
Something.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, this is Cambodian, design. It's like, whoa. So the first day we got there, we planned to have 300 people, right? In a hotel, in a big conference room. Remember, we were there on a political campaign month. So the government issued a little permanent law, a temporary law saying you cannot gather more than 10 people without permission.
Oh my God.
So the hotel who got the deposit from us decided to return us the deposit with the apology saying, I'm sorry, we cannot hold you. We cannot host you. Just because the government says so. So now we have to go down. What could we do? There's no hotel in the country, no conference room in the country help us with that. So we had to go to a church. One church in a province, which is about 2 hours away from Phnom Penh, said, well, you can come to my church. My church is big enough to host 150 Cambodian, not foreigners, right? Cambodian can sleep in, cram place. So 150 people. Oh, well, that's the only choice. So we cut down. We only take half of the country. So that means 150 people come to this one church, right? And so now where do they stay? They have no room to sleep. So now we find another church, UMC church, next door to take care of all the women. And this church at night take care of all the men. So after the service, after the program, men get on a little bus, women get on a little bus, go to a separate church, so
When you said men, you mean boy and girl.
Boys and girls, yes. That's right, boys and girls. So these are youth. There are a few of them who are more than 30 years old, and they consider themselves as youth. It's just probably because they want to work with youth. It's probably they're not married. So in Cambodia, it's kind of, if you're not married, you are still youth, you know. So
Same thing in Africa. Yeah.
yeah, same thing in Africa. Yeah, about that. Yeah, something like that. So the first thing.
The other 150.
Well, they have to
Can't come.
they cannot come. Yeah, well, we have to tell them not to come. That is very sad. And then the Cambodian leadership team said, well, we will bring another team from America to help them, to work with them in a later day. And they have now have a hard time to find the right day for youth to be able to come because now school stopped. Anyway, the first day we got there, we have 80 people approximately. You know, other 70 they're still coming, you know, on the bus, you know, and we were having a good time. Again, youth camp. When it comes to youth camp, it's fun, it's worship, it's game, it's, you know, it's mission work, it's, you know, sweat and tears. They are all out. It's amazing. You know, when they dance, you know, they sing, they praise God, they raise Him. They're so enthusiastic. We were so fortunate to see how their faith, you know, show out in their real life, how they worship God. And you know, when they do it for real. This is a group of worship leaders. They're really good. You know, they play good music. They're very loud. And you know, youth love that. You know, they jump, they sing, they sweating. You know, and the guy in white is a worship leader. He is so good. I mean, oh, I love him. You know, and that helped us to enrich our faith. You know, back then. And then while we were watching them, was like, how am I going to inspire them? They are already inspired. They are even more enthusiastic than what we are. You know, we have some lessons to teach, but now we see them. What can we teach them? They are teaching us how to live a Christian faith, how to live a Christian life. When they pray for real. You know, many times we come home, we have food on the table. Not so many times that family would persecute us because of our faith, right? Not so many times that we come home and worry about, you know, what is the next meal, you know? Where can we find the money to pay for PG&E? Well, some of us might have that problem, but not as a big deal. Then, when they come to church, they are facing struggles because probably they go home, their mom will kick them out of the house. You go stay in church because you're a Christian. You know, Jesus will feed you. Don't come eat in my house. Why don't you go work? Why do you go to church? Sunday is a good day to work. Why don't you go to work, you know? Maybe they go home, they don't have any food to eat. You know, maybe their grandma is sick right now. So when they come home, when they come to church, the only time that they have is, the time that they want to have is the time to communicate with God, to yell out to God, to speak to God, to communicate with God, to plead to God that God will work in their life in a miracle way, you know, to transform their life, because that is the only hope that they have in their life. So when I see that, when I start to listen, I was very fortunate because I speak the language fluently. While I grew up there, I lived there the first 26 years of my life. You know, I got education there, so I can understand the language. And then, you know, you kind of start to listen to their cry. It's so touching, you know. It's just like, you know, they gone through, you know, a lot. Well, I've gone through a lot too, and this is very refreshing. This is very uplifting to hear all these people cry out. You know, they pray sincerely. Clip from my camera to tell you how much they worship God. You know, do you recognize this song? Names above all names, you are worthy.
Are they singing that in Cambodian?
Yeah, they translated it into Cambodian language.
So what were they singing in Cambodian?
Translation.
Yeah, it's a translation. It's Prahnium, Le or Prahnium. I don't
You
really.
can't sing what they say.
Yeah, I don't. I think I left Cambodia before that song was translated. So yeah, so I don't really
So
understand.
when the team went, there's a language barrier, right? So how were they able to,
That's great. I was one of the interpreter.
yeah,
There is other interpreter too. And I will tell you another cool story.
okay.
It's amazing about that language. It's amazing. And then they play game. You know, they worship. They play game. When I was there, I had that one statement in mind. The first day I post on Facebook, take some picture, worship on steroids. It's amazing worship. You know, the second day I go there, I saw games. I saw game on steroids. Just 150 youths, they're playing and they're all out. You know, you smell all the sweat in the room. You know, it's like, oh, a game on steroids, huh? Yeah. This is what I do. So first of all, they were given a balloon. They had to blow it up. The team that blow the biggest, the fastest win. Right? And then after they win, they tie it up. And now you have to pop it by sitting on it. And if you sit the first, you pop all of those first, you win. So, anything like that, it's just fun, yeah. Food on steroid. Remember, we planned to have 300 people in the hotel. Now we only have 150 people.
Not a million, not a lot.
And what do we do with the money? Well, let us feed them. So we have a 5-day wedding reception style for all those kids. They never have it. 8 course every time. Lunch and dinner and breakfast. Boom! It's just like we feed them, we want them to be happy, Again, they probably go home, don't have that good food. But it's
Probably look like you now.
probably, yeah. But they were dancing and very tired. So let us feed them, Yeah. So they eat a lot. This is all of us, we took pictures, 150 people, and then one day we went to the why 150 people. Well, all together, Cambodian leaders, missionary, and all the kids. We have probably 180 people total. So we divided 180 into 6 groups. Each group go to a local church, which is far in the remote area. They are poor, they need help. So we went there and do VBS and do some workshop with little children. So this is my team. We went to that one little church and we gathered about 50 children. So we have different groups. Some group singing, some group telling Bible stories, some group cutting nails, some groups rinsing the shampoo from the hair. These nails.
Wait, whose nails are you cutting?
These are the kids' nails. Those kids, they never have the chance to have access to nail clippers.
Just bite, right?
Probably they bite it, yeah. And probably they just never do anything with it.
So,
And they just play with it and then it just, and it's dirty. And we want to clean them. So we put their hand into soapy water, and we clean it. And then we have cut their nails, clip their nails.
and why the hair?
Excuse me?
Why their hair?
And wash the head.
You had to wash the kid's hair?
Yeah, because they never have access to shampoo. They don't know what soap is. They don't know what shampoo is. This is in remote area.
Do you know what soap is?
They know what it is, but they just never have money to afford it. Yeah. So if we can take the clothes off and do them shampoo, they would be very
How
happy.
do you have children that little in your camp? I don't know how to get it.
No,
This
it's
is-
church.
This in the church. That's not camp anymore. Now we break people in small
They
groups.
visited small churches,
Mhm.
In the countryside.
Yeah.
In a remote area.
like a service,
So camp is finished.
well, the youth.
Camp is still on. It's a part of camp. When youth went out to a remote area,
Do the actual work.
do the actual work.
So how many teams did you break up 150 people?
6 teams.
6 times 30.
Yeah, so a team of 15, 18, 20 people. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many kids did you shampoo?
It depends. Our team, we have about 50 kids to shampoo, to clip their nail. Yeah. And so their head is full of lice.
Yes.
And they jump out at you.
Yeah, and
Once you pour
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's just, yeah, we don't want to, yeah. And we tell, after that, we have also the soap, the shampoo that clean our hair, especially the lice that probably jump on us.
Yes.
And the clothes, right away, we have to take it off and put it into the laundry. And we have to do it right away because it can be, you know, they are very scary. I mean, you know, you don't want to touch it, but here you go. This is hand-on mission. Yeah.
Can you cut the lice in the hair with one shampoo?
Well, there is a, they call the eradication, lice eradication shampoo. That kind of special, yeah, formula. Yeah.
Get them at school.
Better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, yeah. And then we also give them kits. After that, we also have a package of toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, soap, you know, detergent with it, and kids can bring it home. So they don't have a lot, but this is what we can do, yeah. So we give them that, and then after, you know, we shampoo it, we rinse it. So everybody get a towel. Oh, they love the towel. They never have it, that clean towel, you know? They love it. But this is how we rinse it. Fill it up and rinse it, right? One girl, about 7, 8 years old, after her hair is dry, cleaning and everything, she put her finger into her hair. She combed it down. You can see her excitement. She bring her hair. She smells it. She starts crying. And she yelled out of, you know, she does not know that I was watching her. She was saying, wow, it smells so good. And she was crying. And I started watching and I was like, oh my gosh. This is the year 2013. And there are those people who are so poor, they never have access to soap, shampoo that is smells so good to them, you know what I mean? We never appreciate that our mom would go to grocery store and buy those shampoo for us, but they have it, and she just cried. I was like, oh my gosh, it broke my heart. You know, I used to be that poor. When I was young, I was very poor, and my head was full of lice and everything. But back then it was wartime. You know, everybody was poor. Right now in Cambodia, people were driving Land Rover, Range Rover that cost $130,000. And those rich people took all those money, and there are some of those poor people who cannot have access. Not that it's by choice, it is they have no choice. They just like I'm telling you about that story about the language barrier. This guy in the middle here, Clayton. Clayton was in my small group, my youth group. If you talk about somebody who is the quiet person in the youth group, that Clayton. Clayton does not speak. He is very quiet. He is there. He joins you. He smiles at you, but he don't speak. But here you go. He is now on a mission to Cambodia, to a country that don't speak his language. He don't speak their language either. But Clayton started to play soccer with them, play football with them. I don't know how Clayton explained football to them, but I saw Clayton playing football with all those kids about his age. And he is praying with them. What kind of language is he talking? Clayton went to Cambodia with his mom. His mom wanted to be a part of it because he would not go there alone. So mom went with him. Mom came to me, Pastor, will you see Clayton? Only this is the 3rd day. I said, what? He's so different. He's very quiet. He never participated. Now he is leading. He's teaching those kids to play football, and he doesn't speak the language. Only a couple people who can speak English, and back then Clayton was playing with all Cambodian people, no translator. And he played soccer. Well, soccer they understood. How about football? I don't know. Clayton was speaking to them in English, and somehow they understand something, you know, gesture, throw the ball, and they just run. Probably they don't run according to the football rule, but somehow they play football. It's amazing, life-changing. What language is that? It is the love language from our God, that they have that one God together. It's amazing. He prayed with them. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy. So then you ask me, that camp is over, right? So you ask me, what do we do there? Well, we preach in those camps. We play with them. Whatever they do, we do with them, right? We play with them. We make friends. You know, we take pictures, and those friends are still friends with me on Facebook. Yeah, they have Facebook now. So that's awesome. Yeah, so we take pictures. We went to, you know, remote area and put stuff to play. And those kids were so happy to see the rainbow. So they took picture of the rainbow. There's a real life stuff. This is Pastor Emil. There were two pastors. One is me and one is him. I don't want you to look at him. I want you to look at this girl. 7 or 8 years old. Girl. Only very short, no top. Taking care of her 2-year-old boy. Not son, but brother. Their parents are now working in the field. They have to leave these 2 kids at home. And you know what? There's a lot of danger. Newspaper happen every day. Sometimes, unfortunately, they got raped. Home alone, they're young. You know, adults can do anything. Sometimes, brother and sister probably die at the back pond. They go and swim, and then somehow, you know, brother is helping the sister is helping the brother, and both of them die. It's very sad. Sometimes they stay at home, they die in the house because the house was on fire. Nobody helped. Just so sad. Do we do that? No, it's illegal. If you do that, you know, what is it? Child Protection Service will come and get the children. But this is, they have no choice. Their parents have to go to work. Sad. I want you to tell about this story. This is the house. Little kids come out, you know, play around, got some money and buy some, you know, popsicles and eat it. And I saw this house. I thought, this is a great house. This is my last story. I'm done with the presentation. I saw this house, a very typical Cambodian countryside house. So I called Laura, one of the missionaries. Laura, let's go take a picture in this house. And you know, missionaries are going around the town to see the different things. So Laura, let's come see this house. This house is a very typical Cambodian house. They're 1 story high, you know, very small house. There's a well on the side. Backyard is the garden, you know, they take the water from the well and they dump it on themselves, they clean themselves, and the water will go to the garden, you know, they water the garden. That is very typical Cambodian house. So we went there to take pictures. Oh, that's so good, so good. We came out. The owner of the house asked me if I want to buy that house. I said, no, I don't want to buy that house. Yeah, if you want to buy it, that's so good for 2 of you. They thought we were dating or something. You know, we were trying to check out something. No, we don't want to buy the house. Oh, okay. If you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you $11,000. $11,000. That's a good price, a lot of money. No, I don't want to buy it. So I walked outside and I met the local pastor who was touring us in that town. And he said, Pastor, I heard you want to buy that, you want to sell that house. I said, yeah, buy it. Like, I don't need that house. No, buy it and make it as a church. This is the best house. This is in the right location. There is no church in this area. There are a lot of people in this area. It is next to the street. The house has two floors. The first floor is actually the rice storage. And the second floor is almost like a living room or, you know, a house. So you can use that second floor as the parsonage and the first floor as a meeting room. Next to the meeting room, there is a toilet. Perfect for a church. Perfect, you don't have to do anything. The size is 12 meters wide, 36 inches feet, and a 30 meter long, about 100 feet. So it's okay, you know. That is the land, that's the property. The house is smaller, but it's just perfect for that little church. You know, church in Cambodia, 30, 40 people, you know, small little church. Perfect, $11,000. If you buy it, I can negotiate. Probably $9,000. I said, oh, I don't have $9,000. One pastor, Pastor Emil, another pastor, said, I claim this house, cornerstone from United Methodist Church. He said, I don't know where I will get the money, but I will bring that word out. $9,000, I will do that. When we were on the bus, we said, well, we are from 5 different churches, right? The 13 of us. If each church raised $2,000, I think we can do that. We would make $10,000. That's enough for the house, for that house. We think about it, we pray about it. When we came home, we got an email from the Cambodian leader saying, guys, you have $2,500 left over from the trip. Remember, we didn't go to that hotel. We didn't go to that, conference room, so we have leftover money. What would you do with that money? The seed money to go to Cornerstone United Methodist Church.
So neat.
This is the story. When we plan, we go to do mission, to do youth camp. But when God planned, that is not our plan. It was not in our plan. But here you go. We can start a church right now. And this is a good place for the church. And I was like, oh my, that's great. So, the Cambodian leaders started to do this project. And so they give us an advance number. If you would like to donate to this project. It's really interesting. Remember the food that we eat? Special food, wedding style, right? And one of the course is fish. And Cambodian, we're probably Chinese too, when we eat fish, the real fish, whole fish. We didn't even clean the inside. We just put the whole fish in there and put it out and eat it. These girls, they are white when they see that. They're like, oh my gosh, a dead animal on my table. How am I gonna eat it? So funny. They took a picture. It's so funny. One more thing. We went to a hotel. This is a restroom in a hotel that we were in. You see this hotel? This is a multitask restroom.
Oh, shower.
You can sit on a toilet while having a shower.
Yeah.
And if you are tall enough, you can bend over and brush your teeth on the side.
It's a 5-star hotel.
It's interesting, yeah. So this is the Cornerstone community, the advance number. You can write that down. I'm not here to raise fund for them, but I'm just telling you a story. This number is for the Cambodian ministry. But if you write in a memo, saying Cornerstone Community or UMC Church project, that money would designate.
Have they bought the building already?
No, not yet. They're still negotiating. Yeah, but they need, if they have the money, then they will finalize it.
Okay, so they have at least $2,500.
Yes, $2,500 already. And then Pastor Emil is now, he is on it. He is, I got it, So, yeah, my church will donate some. They will have a finance meeting next week. I don't know how much they do. But yeah, anything helps. $5, $500, anything helps. Again, we raised that money to go to Cambodia. And if you want to know some more, if you want to go to Cambodia on a vacation or on mission trip, you can check this out. There will be a Cambodian mission consultation in Virginia that will happen on May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, just to study, about Cambodia, what we can do. Some of you were talking about going on a mission on a vacation to Cambodia. You can, have a mission / vacation, while you are doing that. We each had to pay $3,000. A big portion of those money is the fundraise that we did, by selling food and stuff like that. And we also, spend some of our own pocket money to make that $3,000. To be honest, I left Cambodia and I went to Cambodia. I came back, my pocket was empty, but my spirit was full. And that is all matters. My wife didn't say anything. She's happy that I went. I went there alone, my wife didn't go. So, there are some sacrifices you have to do, your pocket became loose. Because you went there and, you went there, you have to still pay for your cell phone here. You still have to pay for your car here. You still have to pay for your rent here. But this is the mission
Was
trip.
it the first trip for most of those people, or had some of them been before?
3 of them went there before. Yes.
Virginia,
The Virginia team, yeah.
Okay.
From the California, one of them went before. I went there before. So 3 of them never been there. So out of 13 of us, 4 went there before. And 9 never been there before.
So you were the organizer?
No, Cambodian people all organized. I am leader from here, yes.
So
Yeah.
who connected you to the ones who organized it then?
In Cambodia?
Yeah,
I went to the mission consultation.
okay.
And then I met the person, her name is Esther.
Yes.
Yeah, Esther was coordinating all the VIM team. So then I told her, I probably have a small team to go with, to do the youth camp. She said, oh, youth camp need a lot of money. Oh, you know what, you can join with Louisiana team. That's how it helps.
So I understand it's actually, that's her mission, that's her work.
Her job,
right?
yeah, that's her full-time job.
description is, as a missionary to Cambodia, is to organize.
Just for
our
Cambodia.
teams.
Yeah, just for that, that's her job. So she is always out of the house all the time in provinces. Yeah. Any question?
Do you plan to go back again?
Yes, I do really plan to go back again. Probably be there permanently as a missionary. I was contacted by Reverend Jong Sung Kim to see if I'm interested in being a missionary in Cambodia.
Okay.
There is one position only. There are 11 missionaries in Cambodia. Only one position allowed for Cambodian national. You know, and that position is for leadership training for pastors. They want somebody who can speak the language and understand the mission. They don't want foreigners who need to spend 5 years to study Khmer and then start the work later. So, but I said, well, I need to go to PSR, finish school at PSR. I need to be ordained here first, and I'm not a citizen here yet. So I still need, a couple more years. So, yeah. Well, for the short mission trip, yes, I will probably go there again after PSR. Yeah. Any other question?
So, my question was, if, because as you know, our church is kind of considering a possible VIM trip sometime in the future, and, so you think the best way is to through consulting Esther?
Yes,
Okay.
the best and only way.
Okay,
Otherwise, you will be there alone doing your own mission.
okay.
Yeah. There are some churches who cannot work with Esther's schedule. So they have to go there and, which is not encouraged by the Cambodian mission in Cambodia, because it will conflict, especially the conflict of interest. You go there, pastors will come to you individually and ask if you can partner with them. And that's against the rule, because some pastors who can speak English might get more benefit than those who don't speak. But if you go through the right channel, through Esther, through the UMC headquarters, then the gift and the offering would be distributed fairly, especially to those areas like those poor areas, to get enough support from us, not. So Esther would organize us everything, and there are a lot of missions. There's a lot of things, you can help them with. What I'm trying to say, there are a lot of projects, not only youth camp, but also women leadership, men ministry, lay leadership ministry, pastoral leadership, vocational training. If you know how to grow seedless watermelon, it's really important. They want to do, what is her name? Catherine Parker. She do that. She was doing that. So she helped with water sanitation. Growing, feeding animals, raising animals, pigs and chickens, and garden. If you have this watermelon in Cambodia, you sell for a lot of money. It's seedless. Come on now. Can I have some seed? It's seedless, Mom.
There's a heifer project over there too, right?
Heifer project.
Heifer, there are some heifer projects. There are, those people projects are still doing that, But we also have our own project. They call livelihood project. I think Marilyn Chen was talking about that. Livelihood project. So we are doing with the local community, with the United Methodist Church, and Heifer would do with a lot of other stuff. And I encourage you to go there with the right channel. You either go to China or any other country, but go through the channel so that again the fairness will happen. Otherwise, you will spoil. That's the other word. When we went to there, we had 2 Sundays to worship in the church, in 2 churches. We were told to give the offering not more than $5, because we don't want to spoil the church. We don't want to give a hard time to the next team who come in. What if our team went there this Sunday and they got $1,000 in the offering, and then the next team come in only have 200. Oh man, this team is so stingy, you know? Like, it's not fair. So they told us to not spoil the system. So let the system grow by itself, you know?
$5, is that excessive?
That's a lot of money. Yeah, $5 for Cambodian people, that's a lot of money. But probably, you know, we can give 20 easy, right? We can give 50 easy because we love them, we want to help them, right? But then how excessive is this, you know, when we give 50 and 10 of us, they make $500, oh, you know, each pastor makes $70, $120 a month. And if they have a $500 for one offering, that's a lot of money. And that discouraged, you know, the local from not giving. Because let's live off those foreigners who come visit us all the time, you know what I mean? So then we have
That's
to...
an interesting point. I interrupted, go ahead.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I never thought about it until Esther told us, please, do not spoil the system. And she tried to navigate each team to go to this church, next time this church, next time this church, you know, in the area, not only in one favorite church.
But you believe that it would discourage the locals from...
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. So it has never happened yet, so, you know, if we give too much, then we will discourage the local church to not give. Yeah. Why give if all these foreigners already give? And then they don't have a sense of self-support or support their own ministry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, this is more, I guess, also a personal question for you. I know as a Cambodian, Cambodian living in the US, it's one thing to go to a foreign country and then come back to your own home environment and back home and whatever it is. Oh, it was very different experience,
Yeah.
whatnot. Now, how has it been? I know that PSR is now, to say that, you know, it's a very different place, I should say.
Very different.
How has your adjustment, or has it happened yet, or what is that?
Adjustment into PSR, into
Yeah, it
US.
has been, since you just had an especially intensive kind of a re-immersion experience back into your home country and all of that.
It's really hard, you know, and I mean, as a binational person, when I went to Cambodia, I don't feel like I'm Cambodian. I feel people treat me not like Cambodian, but at the same time, they treat me like Cambodian, so I lack something, you know? I don't feel like I'm at home. Obviously, when I'm in America, I am completely a stranger. I'm in PSR, I was like, oh my. I was like, are you serious? Is that what it is? You know, and I am trained to be open, but man, I will have to open some more, help me. It's very weird, and sometimes what I said turned out to be like, I'm very defensive, because why did I choose PSR? Because I want to be open, but when I come here, I was like, oh, I don't understand how open is open, you know? Is it this much? Is it this much? Is it this much? Or there is no boundary? You know what I mean?
You talking about being very liberal, you mean? Talking about as far as
Yeah. Being liberal, being diverse, being beyond my understanding, because I never thought that kind of extreme idea can happen on Earth. It is.
The difference is that when you chose PSR, did you know that it was a very liberal?
I did.
Okay.
I was
you didn't know it
born.
was that liberal then?
Yes.
Okay.
I was warned to say, well, your background does not really fit PSR. I was a Buddhist in Cambodia, very conservative, right? I was a Christian when I was 19 in a Southern Baptist church. Got trained biblically by the Southern Baptist missionary, right? My first 3-year seminary in America is in a Mennonite. I make it easier. A Mennonite seminary. How conservative it is? I came to California working with the United Methodist Church. First of all, I was like, is this really what it is, you know? And now I'm stepping out of that. I'm kind of a little comfortable with United Methodist structure. Coming to PSR. PSR is way beyond what I thought, you know. Oh, well, that's my first week here at PSR, so I will learn some more.
Didn't Aaron tell you?
So, the reason why I asked that question actually is, it would be an interesting thing for me personally, as a person who has to regularly navigate such widely differing fields of understanding about what having faith means, what being a person of Christian faith,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. How God leads your own life to be, in a way, more helpful bridge person or a missionary, to even specifically to Cambodia, since you already have kind of a calling.
Yeah.
It seems to me like
Mhm.
because that's kind of a long-term goal,
Yeah.
as I understand.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as a missionary, you are by default a bridge person
Yeah.
to people of faith, and people of faith from really kind of diverse stands, to really be about God's mission in Cambodia. But you have to be the connecting person.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether the question in my mind is to continue to converse with you, is that journey you're going to take in the next
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
1 year is
1 year, yeah.
only say 1 year?
Yeah, because I transfer a lot of credits from my previous.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah. So in and out, get in, get out, get ahead. Right? Yeah. That's that.
Curriculum of PSR far out.
For example, one class that I tell you, they don't take my theology credit from my previous seminary, because the way they teach theology in my previous seminary is very conservative,
Oh,
and it's not going to be as the same or not quite with the PSR. You know, very liberal. You're talking about, you are not only teaching seminarians from one denomination, you are teaching seminarians from different religion. Some Buddhists can take a theology class too. So theology here is not a Mennonite theology, it's not a United Methodist theology. It is theology for the UCC, for the UU, Universalist, Unitarian, and for the Buddhists who are sitting in that class too, and they're talking about theology. What theology is this now? Study about God. What kind of God? Is it love God? Is it internet God? There's a internet. Because there's a presentation of somebody who come in as a video. He said, well, my religion is internet. Because I spend my time with internet. I blog, I Facebook, that's all I do. And I have faith in internet. Because of internet, I am living today. I was dying, and then because of internet, people that I don't know out there advocate for me so that I am now cured from cancer. Now I have new lung, because I need lung transplant. And without internet, I could not be helped. So my God is internet. You know what I'm saying? That how diverse it is. So what is theology? Now you shake your head, go to PSR, and then you will say, oh, that is the only point. Yeah. And PSR is the only, I would say, the most diverse seminary on earth. She might not agree with me, she have more experience, but to me right now, it's like, oh. But yeah, again, you are now with a GTU curriculum. I mean, it's different. Your book, what is it? Your leadership, is it, what kind of leadership are you doing, Socialist or, I don't know, social justice as my first week yet, so this is how much I know. So I still have 1 more year to go, I'm very excited. And one thing that really encouraged me to be there is one person said to me, I am very glad that you are here. Because when I decided to choose PSR, I wanted to come to a safe place. Because out there I am not safe. People are very different from me, so I want to come to a place where people are the same as me. Somehow they think the same. You know what I mean? Liberal. But now you make me feel at home. Because you have that conservative ideas, and that is the idea that we cannot forget, that we should not get away from it. You know what I mean? So they want to make sure there is a kind of a position. You know, it's A right here. Where are we now? B, C, D. Where are we now? You know, at least they know where A is. If we don't have that A, if we don't have that one position, then everything would be out there. So I'm very encouraged that somehow they are also ready to listen to me. You know, they said, "Oh yeah, I want to listen to you some more." So that's great. Yeah.
Who told you that?
Excuse me?
Who told you that?
Oh, one of the students in the class whom I was talking about, you know, because peers all, when they start talking, they said, oh, you have to respect one another, you know. You have to respect each other's view. It's not your way or my way. It's, you have to listen, you know, and then there are some languages that you cannot use. It's like, what language, for example?
Judgmental.
Yeah, judgmental language. Sometimes it's not about the language, it's about the tone that you use, you know. So how should you start the conversation, you know? And then I also said, well, sometimes I am grown up in that situation. What if I said that is not natural? Oh, that is very touching, you know, that is sensitive topic. You don't say that, you know. Oh, okay, well then give me a list of words that I cannot say, you know. And that is not fair for me if you limit my vocabulary, if you limit my freedom, that is not freedom. If you want to be respected, you need to respect me too. Right? And then that conversation turned out to be like, oh, you are very defensive. I was like, well, you started first. Right? You started to say, well, everybody needs to be respected. Or are you trying to say, I have to respect you? Well, then that means you also have to respect me. Right? I have that idea. That does not mean my conservative theology is wrong. If you want to be right. You know what I'm saying? So, well, it was not that bad. It was not that dramatic. But again, they kind of understood that I am very conservative, very defensive, and got to be very careful with that big guy. You know?
Big guy?
Yeah. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking that I was thinking that they would say so, you know, in their mind, you know.
So, again, are you keeping in touch with the other VIM team members, or do you have any other future debrief sessions or
Yes.
other things?
Yes, we will have, I forgot the date, we will have a reunion that will happen very soon. And they will do it in Louisiana, and I will Skype with them. Yeah, so that's kind of the brief, you know, to see how life is going, you know, what has it helped us, you know, the mission that we do and stuff like that. And it's really helped me a lot. As the way that I look at church now is way different. United Methodist Church in Walnut Avenue, United Methodist Church is now going through the mission statement that they have been having for a long time, but they haven't done that just because they were financially not secure, you know. But then somehow they got a big offering from, you know, a memorial gift from somebody, and now they have some kind of money to start a mission. And I'm very excited to be a part of the mission in Walnut Avenue. Yeah, that's great.
So, are you currently at Walnut Avenue?
Yes, I'm currently serving a quarter time at Vathanak.
Should we give a big hand to Pastor Vathanak?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's close with a circle
Yeah.
of prayer.
And others who want to stay later.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this gathering, for the food before us, and just for the laughter, the sharing, the learning about our neighbors in Cambodia. And it's just so nice to see people out there doing your work. And Father, I pray that we truly learn to love the Cambodian people and the people all around the world that need help. And I pray that we do all get a chance to maybe go there and visit these people and get involved with getting the license, you know, out of their hair, and just being part of them and loving them as well. And we pray all this in your Son's name. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So you only give it 1 week.
Excuse me?
You only been in school 1 week?
Yeah, been in school for 1 week. Yeah.
Curious about what you-